I feel really, really, really bad for Shimada. I honestly thought he was going to come out on top and maybe win a round before he could, be in his hometown and face Soya. I thought something like that was going to happen. But that didn't. It did not happen. So, this episode of March Comes In Like a Lion. It was a pretty sad episode, and it kind of wraps the final bow on top of Shimada's, characterization, what he's been getting these past few episodes. This episode finally kind of concludes that. And I'm just in utter disbelief with how this little arc concluded. I mean, I figured, Shimada was going to have some form of happy conclusion. He was going to be able to go to his hometown and all that, be happy and just, make it look like everybody back at his hometown, they'd be happy for him. Like, hey, you did it! I thought something like that was going to happen, but it didn't. He lost, and holy shit, the way he lost. It's... Okay, so let's just talk about the message of this episode. There's two things we got to pull out of this episode, and number one, Soya. Soya is like the man on top. He is the master. He is the one that is like an unattainable goal. He is the one that is the pillar of the shogi society. He is the one that is like the top of the top, and no one can beat him. It's like he's like a god among men. And everybody that looks at Soya, they're like, this man is our dream goal. That's what we want to be like. But when they fell, like, oh, we just didn't have talent. We didn't have as much talent as him, or, we didn't just try hard enough. And you constantly see that theme playing a big part in this episode of March Comes In Like a Lion. But then on top of that, though, besides Soya being like this unattainable goal that's unbeatable, you have someone like Shimada, which is someone that we know has put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. We know he's trying time and time after time to get better, where he could face Soya and finally bring him down and defeat him. That is what we have seen. And with this episode, even with all that effort, after all of that hard work that Shimada has put in, it was not enough. He fell to the ground, and he could not drag Soya from his pedestal. And I was very sad about that, because, for one, Shimada has put in so much effort. We've seen his point of view. We have seen how much effort he has put in, and how many days he's been hurting, his stomach pains and all that. He's been going through the stomach pains. He doesn't care. He's been trying to get better. When he was asking Ray to help him out in last week's episode, he's like, could you help me out and all that? Could you, play this match with me? Even though he was, sick, he wasn't feeling good, he was constantly asking Ray for help, which shows his determination to get better for he could win this match. But even with all of that, after all of this help he got, it wasn't enough. And I feel so bad because of the way everybody was talking behind his back and pretty much shitting all over him. It's kind of disgusting. Because honestly, they don't know how much he's been trying and how hard he's been going in, trying to be a better shogi player. And when you see all these people in this episode, like, talking behind, Shimada's back, saying, like, oh, he didn't try hard enough, he's weak, oh, he's trash, or, he's not good enough, or whatever, he doesn't have the backbone, I'm like, are you serious? This man has proven time and time again in these past couple episodes, from our point of view, we have seen it, that he does have a backbone, he does want to win, and he is not weak. And, I mean, you have to be a strong-willed person to be able to fight through the pain while your stomach is all upset and hurt. You have to be a strong individual to continuously go in like that. And so I commend Shimada for his effort and how much effort he put into the matches he was in with Soya. But when everybody was talking behind his back and shitting on him, I'm like, you guys are disgusting, because they're like, oh, it makes sense why he didn't win and all that, he was fighting Soya, it makes sense, Soya's unbeatable, and I'm thinking, like, are you serious? There's something really, really wrong with that logic, because saying that Soya is unbeatable doesn't make any sense, because, for one, you saying that's kind of like taking the easy way out, but with you guys saying that, it's like shitting on all the hard work everybody puts in for trying to better themselves and be a better shogi player. It's like saying hard work can never beat talent, which is complete bullshit, because let's look at our main character, Ray. He is a very talented individual. He's constantly thrown in with a bunch of people that are very talented. He's a talented middle schooler, but, when it suits their needs, when he's not doing as good as to the standards of what we've seen from previous people, they're automatically saying he's a failure or he's not really that good. And so people manipulating certain things to make themselves feel better or make themselves be able to move on when they lose a match. And so, saying that someone like Soya is unbeatable and someone like him beating Shimada, it makes sense and it's expected, I'm like, that's disgusting. It's like saying that hard work can never beat talent, which is complete bullshit. Yes, there's a lot of talented individuals out there, I'm not faulting them for having that talent, but you're telling me that always talent will win over hard work, which is just complete and utter bullshit. It is. It's utter bullshit. If you put in enough effort and a lot of time into it, eventually your hard work will pay off, even surpassing the talented folks because of how much time you put into it. And so when they're saying it makes sense how Shimada didn't win, I'm like, you guys, you're fucking pissing me off. And I was really getting triggered at that moment. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're really saying this behind this man's back. And when you know you lose, you're like, oh yeah, I just didn't put enough hard work in. I'm like, you're being a hypocrite. You're being a fucking hypocrite. So, yeah, I mean, this episode really showed a distinct contrast between talent and hard working and how it feels to be like Shimada. Like, I mean, when this man lost, everybody was just trash talking and just like, just go shut the fuck up. Like, all of you, just shut the fuck up. And I felt really bad for Ray because he was the only one that was really supporting his senpai. He was supporting him because, for one, he's been with him the past couple episodes. He knows, what he's been doing, how hard he's been going in to try to better himself. And all of a sudden, everybody's just, talking down on him, looking down on him, saying he's shit or whatever. And, Ray's been there. He's seen what this man's been through. And he's, like, the only one that truly believed in his senpai. But it wasn't even that he believed in him only just because he was a senpai. He believed in him because he actually felt like it wasn't the end of the road when it came to the board. And we did get to see inside of Soya's head that apparently there was a move that Shimada wasn't even able to see in the first place. Towards the end of the episode, when the match is over and he pretty much has already given up, you see it to where Soya's like, oh, he didn't notice, huh? Which proves that Soya isn't unbeatable. He is someone that makes mistakes. That automatically proves that. And you can even see once the match is already over, it seemed like, Shimada actually realized that Soya made a mistake, but he couldn't do nothing about it because he already gave up at that time because he thought it was just natural he had to lose since, he was fighting someone with such raw talent. So yeah, episode had a really good distinct theme about it, and I mean, it really just once again shows how much Ray has developed as a person, to be able to place his faith in someone else besides just himself, and allow him to truly believe that it's not over for someone. That really shows how much he also has changed since the beginning of the series. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.